On Saturday, former Vice President Joe Biden kicked off his No Malarkey tour. I'm not exactly sure who that phrase is marketed to, but sure, that's where he's going with it. And in the speech where he launched the No Malarkey tour, his wife got up there at the rally. His wife got up there and gave a little bit of a speech, and this happened. So now we've all seen that photo. We saw it going around the weekend of Joe Biden with his wife's finger in his mouth. But to be fair, for a little bit of context, she had been kind of like waving it around and his face was right there and he was trying to be silly. Just came off as creepy because most people aren't going to go look at the context, and even with the context, it's still pretty creepy. But surprisingly enough, that's not even the creepiest thing that happened to Joe Biden over the weekend. Because also over the weekend, another clip from Joe Biden from his little corn pop speech at the pool from June of 2017 reemerged. And believe it or not, this clip was creepier than both the finger in the mouth and the corn pop speech combined. Here it is.
Saw that made me aware when I was in law school, proudly for Holloway, proudly for your dad, first African-American state senator in the state of Delaware. Everything about. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. And I tell you what, the men, they're now all men, the guys I work with down here, and they're all guys at the time. They're all good men. Most of them made an awful lot of themselves. And Earl Larkin had a rough time. And some of you knew Earl. I came back as a public defender.
So he would sit on the side of the pool and let all the little kids come up and just start rubbing his legs. And then sometimes the little kids would just hop in his lap. And then whatever the heck else he was talking about with the older guys, who are older guys now. Again, that was from 2017. That did not happen over the weekend, but it did become viral over the weekend, much like his corn pop speech that came out back in September. This is very creepy. And under context, it doesn't get any less creepy. We know that Joe Biden was having a bit of a casual speech back then, June 2017, again at this pool they were dedicating to him. And I guess things got a little, too off the cuff, a little too relaxed and casual. But here's the thing. You have conservatives out there right now who are telling the president, you need to just run this clip as an ad against Joe Biden. Like, just put this clip about him talking about his hairy legs and the kids rubbing them. Just make that your ad. Just do that. And they're not wrong either. That's the problem. They're not wrong. These are very creepy, weird clips of Joe Biden. Corn pop, the hairy legs, the finger in the mouth. These are weird things. And the weirdest part is that you have plenty of Democrats on social media saying, how dare you talk about this? How dare you share this? You're doing the Republicans' work for them. No, what we're doing, folks, is trying to save you from a nominee who's going to get slaughtered by Donald Trump in the general election. That's what we're trying to do. Joe Biden stands a 0% chance of beating Donald Trump in a national head-to-head matchup. Donald Trump is going to chew him up and spit him out. And yeah, Donald Trump has even more problems mentally than Joe Biden does, but his voters don't see it. They're fine with it if they do see it. Biden's, on the other hand, they're not really comfortable with it. They don't really like it. And yeah, Biden's been accused of, inappropriately hugging women. Trump's been accused of actual rape. But guess which one they're going to be more concerned about? Joe Biden going up and putting his hands on women's shoulder, which is also inappropriate. You don't just go up and touch another person. Nowhere near as bad as what Trump's been accused of doing, but again, guess which one they'll care about? Biden is a time bomb for the Democratic Party. These clips are just further evidence of this. I do believe we're seeing some evidence of mental decline with Joe Biden, much like we are with Donald Trump. And is that what we want up on that debate stage? Two senile old men going at each other, not remembering who or where they are at any given point? No. So yeah, we're going to go after Biden right now because it's the primaries and that's what we're supposed to do. And these things are weird also. But they highlight the case that Joe Biden is not a good candidate. There are too many weird and creepy clips out there that they can show of him that are absolutely going to destroy any chance he has with independent voters. He doesn't have the policies to get the young people involved. Most people, my generation and younger, have no idea what malarkey even is. But that's what he's going with. And if you stick with Joe Biden, then be prepared for 4 more years of Donald Trump. Thanks for watching, everybody. And don't forget, if you like what you see here, like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. And now you can also become a member of Ring of Fire and get exclusive early access to certain Ring of Fire videos all throughout the week. Just click on the little join button right below the video.